We are continuing with section 9.3 in the Pythagorean Theorem chapter, and in the previous video you should have watched how we came up with the ratio of the sides for the special right triangle that has angles 30, 60, and 90. So in this video we're going to look at how we apply those. So here we have a right triangle, and this angle is 30, which means that this other angle here has to be 60. So anytime you're doing a right triangle problem now, double check to make sure it's a 30, 60, 90, and if it's not, you're going to have to find some other way to solve it. So here's my first step. I'm going to identify my short leg, long leg, and hypotenuse, and I'm going to label them with their appropriate number from the ratio of the sides. So if you recall from the previous video, the ratio of the sides are 1 to root 3 to 2. Alright, so the 1 corresponds to the short leg, the root 3 corresponds to the long leg, and the 2 corresponds to the hypotenuse. So here's my 30-degree angle. So I know that my short leg has to be opposite that in the triangle. So I'm going to give this a 1. And then here's my 60. So I know opposite that has to be my long leg. So that's going to get a root 3. And then the remaining side is my hypotenuse. That's going to be a 2. So now I'm going to use these red numbers with the way the diagram was labeled to help us find M and N. And we're going to use ratios, which we like. We've been using ratios quite a bit this school year. So let's start out with, I'm going to use this because this has 2 numbers on it. So I'm going to have the red to the black. So 1 is to 5. And then we'll look for M first. So I did red over black, so I need to do red over black. So 2 over M, just setting up a proportion. Then I'll cross multiply. 1 times M is just M, and 5 times 2 is 10, and there we have M. M is going to be 10. Now, this ratio that I have, I'm going to use this throughout the whole problem. So that takes care of M. Now I need to find N, so I'm going to use that same ratio. I'm going to do 1 over 5, so that was red over black. So my next fraction I also have to do red over black, so that's going to be root 3 over N, and we'll cross multiply. N times 1 is N, and 5 times root 3 is simply 5 root 3, and there we have N. So 5 root 3. So we have 3 different cases that we'll have for 30, 60, 90s. This one we are given the short leg. The other 2 cases we may be given the number for the long leg, or we may be given the number for the hypotenuse. And each of those is slightly different, but we're going to solve them the same way using proportions. Alright, so rewatch if you need to, get help if you need to, and we'll see you in the next video.